Good evening, everybody. I'm Mary O'Connor with the Alaskan Aviation Safety Foundation and the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health. Thank you for watching Hangar Flying, and thank you to Alaska Public Media for allowing us to bring you Hangar Flying. This evening, we are honored to have on our show Ms. Noreen Price, who is an aviation accident investigator with the National Transportation Safety Board here in Anchorage. Welcome to the show, Noreen, and congratulations on the new job.
Thank you for having me.
So you are new to the safety board, but you're not new to aviation. Can you tell us about how you got your start in aviation?
Certainly. It was kind of interesting. When I went to college, I didn't have the money to pay for it, so I was lucky enough to get an ROTC scholarship with the Navy. I went to RPI in upstate New York, and while I was there in the Navy, you can do all sorts of different things. And they took us on field trips so that we had exposure to ships and airplanes and submarines, and I got to do a week-long trip to Pensacola, Florida, and they put us in A4s and helicopters and let us fly, and I thought, wow, they're going to pay me to do this? So I was hooked right from the beginning, and that's how my aviation career took off. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So then you entered the Navy, and what kinds of training and what kinds of aircraft?
Well, a lot of training. The military, there's a lot of training for all the different aircraft that I flew. I had a lot. Started out primary training. We'd fly small single-engine trainers, T-34s, and then moved on to helicopters, and we flew T-57s, which is like a Bell 206. And from there I flew H-46s, went to San Diego, lots of training there. Simulator training, classroom training, tactical training, shipboard training, safety training. I mean, the training goes on and on and on. You're really not in the cockpit flying for about a good year when you start out. And then, you know, I flew all different aircraft from C-130s to P-3s. So for every aircraft I flew, I had approximately anywhere from 3 months to 1 year of training for each of those. So it was quite a bit. It would take a couple hours to tell you about all my training, really.
Well, did you have a favorite aircraft?
I did, yeah, absolutely. Loved flying helicopters, yeah. H-46 helicopters, they're a tandem rotor helicopter with no tail rotor, so a lot of fun to fly, shipboard flying. Also did search and rescue, so the missions were, you know, very worthwhile. I flew out of the Marianas Islands in Guam and off of ships doing search and rescue and medevac missions off of some of the islands there in the Pacific. And I found that very worthwhile flying, not to mention a lot of fun. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, very worthwhile. So in addition to your training in the flying that you did, you received another benefit from the military, and you had the opportunity to meet a pilot who would later become your husband.
Yeah.
This is also a safety story, so can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, I was a new flight instructor down in Corpus Christi, Texas. I was an instructor under training, so I was in the back seat doing instrument flying. My husband was a seasoned flight instructor out with a student, and we were in the same area, but I was at a high altitude, and we were doing an instrument penetration, which is a high-speed maneuver down, and we were going through his working area. And we did not announce that we were going through his working area. I never saw the aircraft, but he saw it, and we almost hit each other. So when we got down on the ground, he had a couple words to say to us. I had never met him. And I thought he looked interesting, and then we went to the O Club that Friday, and he bought a shot for me and thanked me for not killing him, almost, and it was true love. But yeah, I never saw the aircraft, but it was a close call, yes.
Wow, so that is definitely a story with a happy ending.
A story with a happy ending, for sure.
Oh my God,
yes.
It turned out that way.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Well, very good. So how long have you been with NTSB?
Well, 1 month. I am new to the NTSB, so it's been great. Absolutely love it. They're a great group of people here in Anchorage.
And before you came to the NTSB, what did you do?
I worked for ConocoPhillips here in Alaska. I was a regional aviation safety and technical advisor. I worked for the safety assurance group in Houston, so primarily some safety oversight with aviation vendors here in Alaska. So I got to meet and know a lot of the operators here, which was a great experience, and provide technical advice and expertise to the business unit here in Alaska. They are experts on oil and gas. Outside of our shared services operation, you know, there's not a lot of expertise for aviation type things like helicopters and helidecks and airport operations, and everybody does a great job. But I supported the business unit and those functions.
Well, it sounds like you've got a lot of great experience that will definitely be beneficial in your new role.
Absolutely, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, thank you for chatting with us, Noreen. It's been a real pleasure, and we look forward to having you back on the show to learn more about you and what you plan on doing with the National Transportation Safety Board.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this program is sponsored by the Alaskan Aviation Safety Foundation and Alaska Public Media. We hope you've enjoyed it. Please remember this weekend is Aviation Fest at the museum, and until next time, please remember to file a flight plan, and if you can, also file a pilot report. Fly safely.